session, we're going to start out on our mats, on our backs, and really get into stretching legs, glutes, hips, and we'll finish up with some low back mobility. And then hopefully these long weekend workouts will feel a whole lot better. So during the week, focusing on a lot of shorter workouts, higher intensity. You can be sore, tired, have some muscle fatigue. So if we can shift gears on Friday and really stretch, open things up, loosen things up, generally Saturday and Sunday, the longer workouts are going to feel a little bit better. And then Sunday, we'll follow up with some foam rolling to kind of get all that long weekend workout soreness out before we hit it hard again starting next week. So come on to your mat here, and we'll take our bands and keep them nearby, because what we're going to do is just start out kind of loosening up. So coming onto the back, bringing the knees into your chest, and then just gently rocking right and left, very gently. Nice deep breaths. And then if you want, you can take one leg out, stretch the other one, pull it into your chest just a little bit more, and then switch. Extend the other leg. Deep breaths, pull this one in as far as you can, and switch. One more time. Good. And so before we do our hamstring stretch with the band close by, take your arms out to the side and just let your knees fall together to one side. And then if it's comfortable for you, you can turn your head in the opposite direction, but you want to make sure the opposite shoulder stays on the ground. Nice deep breaths here. Let those muscles relax. You should feel this all through your side and your hip. And then pass through the middle, take it to the other side. And again, you can turn your head in the opposite direction if you want, totally up to you. Nice deep breaths. Good, bring them back up through the middle, and then just let your knees fall apart here. Imagine that there's something pulling the knees toward the floor, but at the same time not letting the back arch up off the ground. So keeping that back flat. And you feel that in your inner thighs, but imagine without pushing down or forcing them down, that something's just weighing your legs down. Good. Bring them up and together. Bring your hands straight up and the palms of your hands together. And then just see how far you can go to either side, just twisting without moving the legs. Twist, stretch, and then to the other side, stretch. Good. If it's easier, you can even lace your fingers together as you do this one. Stretch to one side, and then to the other side. Good. And then as we do this next one, what you're going to do is bring your hips up into a hip bridge, bring the hands over your head, let them fall apart, palms up, nice hip bridge, and then slowly bring them up and through, so you're passing them straight through down to the floor, what would be right by your hips, pushing your palms into the floor, just opening up the front of the body. Deep breath. Good, lower down. Good, bring those hands back up, palms together. Good, bring the hips up one more time. Let the hands separate, fall back, palms up toward the ceiling, hips up. Good, and then pass them through. Bring them to the ground. Push your palms into the ground. Lift, and then lower down. Great. And then what we're going to do is take our strap or whatever you have nearby. Doesn't matter which foot, we're going to get them both. And we're going to go ahead and put the strap around the ball of our foot. We're going to start with the other leg bent here, even if you're super flexible. Just start out with that leg bent. Find a good position here. So once your knee starts to bend, you've gone way too far. So find a spot where you can keep that leg nice and straight, really get into those hamstrings. Push up through the heel and push the ball of your foot into the strap. Stretch, 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 and then slowly slide that other leg out straight. Nice deep hamstring stretch. So as you're doing this one, sometimes it can feel really, really tight and it makes you want to hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. Breathe deeply. Good. Pull that in a little bit more if you can. Really push through the heel. Now, separate your hands if they're together, and I want you to lower that foot down toward the mat, slowly, 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 just lowering it down, slowly, push through the heel. Imagine you're making your leg longer and longer and longer and longer and longer. Good. And as soon as your heel touches down, we're going really, really slow, so mine hasn't even hit the ground yet. As soon as the heel hits the ground, slowly bring it back up. Very slowly. Push through the heel, make the leg longer and longer and longer and longer. Good. Back up. And we're going to do that one more time. Deep breaths. Push through the heel and slowly lower down. Imagine there's almost some type of resistant force holding your leg. Slow, 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 slow. As soon as the heel touches the ground, slowly start to bring it back up. Mine just hit the ground. Slow, bringing it all the way back up. Push through the heel. Good. Now walk your hands back up on that strap or band or whatever you have and really push through the heel, keeping that knee nice and straight. Great. So I'm stretching my right leg, and I have it in my left hand. I'm going to bring my leg to the left all the way across here and keeping the foot flexed. So I'm just going to bring it as far as I can until I start to feel that pull all the way down the side of my leg here. It doesn't take much. Good. And then bring it back up very slowly. Push through your heel up toward the ceiling and take it out to the side. So I'm passing to my right hand. I'm going to take it out to the side, keeping the foot flexed as far as I can go till I start to feel that pull in the inner thigh. Good. And just hold and breathe. Keep the foot flexed. Hold and breathe. And slowly bring it back up. Good. Push through the heel. And then we're going to slide the other leg in and this one out. So I'm going to bring my left foot up, slide it into the strap, and I'm going to start out with my right foot flat, knee bent, and my left foot in here. And so one side's always tighter than the other, and I find for me my left side's a little tighter than my right. So I need to back off to a place where my knee is not bent, and I can really push through the heel, flex the foot, and feel a good stretch in the back of my leg and my hamstrings. Good, good, good. Great, now extend the other leg, extend that right leg. Settle here and breathe. Flex the foot. We're going to take the hands apart, and now what we're going to do is lower that leg down toward the floor super, super, super slowly. So I'm going to let my hands come back here so I have enough room to lower it all the way down. And super slowly, keep that foot flex, push through your heel. Imagine you're trying to lengthen your leg as you lower it down to the ground. Very, very, very slowly. So when your heel does touch the ground, again, we're going to come right back up very slowly, super slow. My heel hasn't even touched the ground yet. All right, there we go. Just touch down, and I'm going to come back up. As slowly as possible, pushing through the heel the whole way. And again, imagining there's some kind of resistant force in both directions. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Gotta pull it up as far as you can without bending the knee. Take a couple deep breaths. And we'll do it again very slowly. Coming all the way down, nice and slow. Good. And then once your heel touches down, you'll start to bring it back up. Very slowly. And then all the way back up. When you get there, walk your hands back up the strap or your band, whatever you have around your foot. And I'm going to go ahead and take my leg across the other one. My hand's going to go out to the other side. And I'm flexing my foot. And I'm just going to come as far as I can to where I feel that stretch, and then hold it. And breathe. Hold and breathe. Good. And then slowly, slowly bring it on back up. Stretch here in the middle. And then take it out to the side. Gently, just as far as it'll go, keeping that foot flexed till you start to feel that stretch in the inner thigh. And then once you do, just stop and hold. Keep that foot flexed and breathe. bring it on back up. Push through that heel. Lengthen the leg as far up like you're trying to grow your leg. And then release. Good. All right. Good, good, good. When you come back out of that stretch, you can bring your knees in and rock gently right and left. Stretch. Great. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to start with my right leg. And I'm going to grab my foot here. And I'm going to come into a happy baby here. And I'm just going to grab the outside. So with my right hand, I'm going to grab the outside of my right foot. And I'm going to just put pressure on my foot and pressure into my hand. And I'm just going to keep my ankle over my knee and bring my knee toward the floor close to my underarm. So I'm pulling down and pushing up, just opening the hip here. But it's very gentle. I'm not forcing my knee down. It's very gentle. My other leg's gonna stay bent right here. And it's really important that your ankle stay over top of your knee and you don't end up like this, bringing the foot in. So keep it stacked here and just breathe. Good, and then slowly release that stretch. You can take your arms out to the side and gently swing your legs from the right to the left, slowly passing them through the middle, kind of stretching and lengthening before we switch to the left side. Great. Now take the left leg and the left hand, and I'm going to reach up, grab the bottom of my foot, the left foot with my left hand, stacking my ankle over my knee, and I'm going to apply pressure with my hand, pulling my foot down, and my foot pushing my hand up. It's well balanced and nothing forceful. What I'm trying to do is get my knee as close to the floor as I can without applying a lot of force. So very gentle. And just keep breathing. Deep, slow breaths here. Good. Okay. Release that one. Take a nice deep breath, and again, let those knees come right and left. Slowly, gently, passing them through the middle. Arms are out to the side. Keeping both shoulders flat on the ground, passing those legs through. After we do a few of these, we're going to turn on to one side, or if you're more comfortable laying flat on your stomach, you can do that too. I currently cannot, but I also know that some people are more comfortable on their stomach. We're going to stretch our quads. So I'm going to turn onto my side here. And I'm going to rest my head on my hand, and I'm going to take my top leg and I'm going to bring the heel back towards my bottom here. And I'm going to just keep my knee out nice and straight. You can bend the bottom one if you're comfortable doing that too. If you'd rather be on your stomach, you can lay flat on your stomach and rest your head on your hand and pull your heel in towards your bottom. I personally prefer that way to stretch my quads, but I can't lay on my stomach right now. There's a little belly in the way or a big belly in the way, but I prefer that. So if you're comfortable doing that, go ahead and lay flat on your belly and do that. Good, and then release that stretch. Straighten that leg back out, and I'm gonna switch sides, and you can just switch legs, or you can switch sides if you're on your side. And switch legs, pull the heel back towards your bottom with the same arm. Keep that knee nice and straight. Breathe deeply while we stretch the quads. Good, release that stretch. So we've been on our side for a little bit, or on our belly. We're gonna push up to seated and finish up seated here. So I'm gonna straighten my mat out. And like I said, we're doing a little bit of mobility for our spine here. So I'm gonna sit with my legs crossed. I'm gonna place my hands on the ground or the mat in front of me. And all I'm gonna do is do a cat-cow here. So legs crossed, doesn't matter which way, we're gonna do them both. Then you're gonna round your back and then lift up and through and arch. And you can do this with your breath, but go slowly, be gentle, round, and then lift up and arch. And then the next time that you lift the chest, I want you to slide your hands forward, hinging from your hips. Slide forward. Opening the hips and the back, and then just gently walk your hands out to one side until your chest comes over one knee, and hold. And then slide those hands back all the way around, and you're going to come over the other knee and hold. Back to the middle here, and come back up nice and tall. Cross your legs the other way, so we'll switch them. We're going to do the same thing. Put the hands on the ground or on your mat in front of you, and we're going to do our cat-cow here, kind of rounding the back and lifting through and arching. And then we round and arch. Round and arch. Good. On your next time that you come all the way up and through, kind of arching your back, slide your hands forward as far as you can, feeling that opening in the low back and the hips. You're hinging from your hips, so there's no rounding in your back. Your back should stay relatively long, tall, and straight through the spine. And we're going to do the same thing here that we did on the other side. So slide your hands to one side over so that your chest comes over the knee, and just hold that. One thing to remember that I didn't mention on the other side, and I should have, is that you don't want to let the opposite hip come off the ground. So if we're leaning into it, we're not really getting a good stretch. Keep that hip on the ground. And it's my fault for not mentioning that last time, because it's really important part of this stretch. And so since this is our last stretch, if you feel like you did that and you want to go back to the other side, feel free to do that. All right, come back around, slide those hands to the other side, and turn so that you're twisting over your knee gently. Just hold it here. And again, don't let that hip come up, push it down into the ground. And then gently back to the middle. Hold there for a second, take a nice deep breath in and out, and then sit back up. And that'll finish us up for today. So this is a great way to loosen up for long weekend workouts, or if you just feel like you need a good stretch in the middle of the week, this is a good way to do that. It's not too long, just long enough to really get in there. Sunday we'll do some foam rolling after long weekend workouts, so it should feel really good and a nice, well-balanced recovery